What the government of South Africa won't tell you is that people, it's not about white privilege, but more about the way we think. This is what unites people. And, you know, I think even in the tribes in South Africa, the people will understand that there are certain tribes now after apartheid who get way more financial benefit than other tribes. I mean, it's not. Let's take if we would take the white person out of South Africa. Um, do you think we can just say yes? The black people are prospering. That's crazy. They want to bring this Pan Africa. Um, all black people are the same um, ideology, and why do they want to do this? Why are they denying the Xhosa or the Zulu, the Sotho, uh, for instance, in South Africa, Pedi, and you can name it, or Swahili, but more north, or even in South Africa. Why are they denying that? Why are they saying that white people have privilege, and if they are gone, all black people who are the same will prosper? This is just not true. We know. I heard black Americans talk lately on shows. They just I think they grew up in America. America has got the World Series, but not the whole world's playing. It's like only America. So America is big enough to do this, okay? But for them, it seems like their whole world is all the framework they understand is America. Then you have the black Americans who are longing for nostalgia, or hey, where do I come from? I come from Africa, and us black people, we went through a struggle here in America, and my brothers in Africa are going through the same struggle. White people are the problem. White people are the issue. If we can get Pan Africa, make whole Africa one, and get the white man out, all our problems will be solved. Um, Number one for that's like undermining the cultures in Africa, and it's huge propaganda for some people to prosper. Africans understand there are tribes within Africa. There are tribes within countries. You can't say because someone is black, they're all the same. I can't say because I am white, all white people are the same. It's non existent, it doesn't exist. That's just a way for one type of person to prosper. Okay, you have different tongues, you have different tribes in Africa, and many of these tribes, they are proud to speak a different language. They are proud where they come from. They are proud people. But the Xhosa and the Zulu, they're not. I can't say they are the same people because they're black. Uh, if that were, that's it's ludicrous to say that. So the governing bodies, the agenda, people who drive, uh, who want the wealth for themselves, would tell you, no, all black people are the same. So, in other words, if some black people prospering and other black people not, it's the same. There's nothing wrong with that. That's ludicrous. So, you can't get rid of in South Africa. What they try and do, they try and keep the people poor. This is what the government is doing, the ANC. And the people who are prospering, they need to go. We need to get them out because they are independent. So if they are independent over, let's say, and they not as easy to bribe with a satellite dish or some bread or something like that, like what they do in election time. They will go to the townships and give them bread or satellite TV, and uh, just make, they're poor, and now the government's giving them something, and they're so happy. Let's vote for this government. This is not going to last long, man. All South Africans are going to understand that, listen, this is not a color thing anymore. There's nothing like white privilege. If you're stealing from your own people, uh, if you misgovern and don't care or love your own people, don't think that you can blame that on white privilege all the time. So it was quite funny to see that, not funny, but to see the struggle that Black Americans are going through, but having no clue that Africa is not this dream, we are all brother, brother type of thing. Let me say, I just visited 3 years ago the families of the victims of 42 children, western part of Uganda. They were chopped with machetes and burned alive. All right. The ARF, who are opposing the Ugandan government, the Islamic rebel group, came in and they did this. Black people on black people. No white people involved there. It's just black people on black people. If you look at the atrocities happening in Sudan, and then to blame this on a white structure, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see that. Um, it's There's this guy, who is he, Zama or something like that, Jack Lek Zek Zek or something, or I don't know, Zama Zuma or something, is having these conversations with Black Americans at the moment. um, I think it would just be interesting for Black Americans to come to Africa and to meet different tribes and understand that the white man didn't make tribes in Africa. Uh, we didn't make the tribes. There's been tribes always, and there's been tribal wars among one another always. There's been division among the tribes always. So the thing is just, let me end with Wakanda, an imaginary place in Africa where black people have the most technology and prosper more than any other culture. And, for me, I would think that is so patronizing and undermining my culture if I was a black person there. And the reason for that is, why do we have to make up an imaginary place like that? As if black people can't do that. Of course they can do that. Of course they can create anything. Any white person, any Asian can create. They can do that. It's just, if we continue to say white propaganda and live in the past and deny that you have a choice, um, then these things are going to continue to happen. No one is going to get out. Your children's children are going to have these views of, oh, the white people hate us, or these people hate us, and it's not going to work to say, I'm going to make my children mad so we can get land or get things. Um, you know, if we do this to people, let's say all the white people are gone, you'll fight one another. That's just what's going to happen. Um, white people fight white people. white in If you go to white nation, you'll see there's poverty among white people in white nations, so to speak, or what. But it's not the color of your skin. It's about what you believe, and this is what separates or makes different cultures. So I kind of understand from a black American nostalgic view from hey, we've been brought here against our will as slaves. Now I'm looking back to Africa. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know what country I'm from. I don't know what tribe I'm from. But I have an emotional connection, a longing there. But I live in the USA. Um, so I can understand, if you look back, you're going to blame the same, like, well, white people brought segregation with black Americans, the slaves back then. Um, it was an evil structure, a demonic structure. They blame that structure. So then they look, oh, there's been colonization in Africa by white people, but slavery was through all cultures. Black people was enslaving black people. Asians were enslaved. The Japanese did a lot of that. The Germans enslaved many people, white people, as the Vikings. There's a huge history. Everyone was in slavery, but because this is so modern, this is a modern time. But if the Black Americans didn't have that happen to them, or it wasn't only in the 60s where it kind of officially stopped, segregation in a big way in America, then they would understand that tribalism didn't start because of the white man. Tribes is not because of the white man. Actually, tribes go back to Babylon when God actually brought down the different languages, and but tribes has actually been there since the beginning of man, but the language difference came in Babylon. So we I think where black and white people miss one another. Black people think white people are insensitive when they say, just move on. And black people are like, oh, we can't move on because white privilege. Um, I would really enjoy to work or to walk, get money because I'm white. That'll be awesome. I would love that. Um, but I don't deny generational wealth. Okay, and if you look to black people in South Africa, and we want to make that argument, we just have to say that 50 years of apartheid is like were black people not able to own anything. That's not true. That's not true. And there's been land taken. I would say, of course, there was land taken, but there were also transactions. Not all land was taken. And the big thing we forget is like what black Americans don't know is that South Africa belonged to the Khoisan. The Khoisan people, the black Africans came down to South Africa. The whites we came from Europe to South Africa. The indigenous person, the first tribe in South Africa who belonged there. It's like you can't say the black people are the first people in America. They belong there. The Indians, I don't know what to. I'm sorry. I mean, there's so many. Uh, would Native America be the right term? Possibly. Um, we grew up knowing Indians, but I think Native American is the correct term nowadays. So black African American is not the indigenous person, but the Native American is to America. In the same way, the black person not come was not indigenous to South Africa, but the Khoisan. Okay, and the Khoisan was killed also by the black person who came down to South Africa. So there's a part of history uh, uh, black people ignore. And I don't blame them. I mean, I'm Afrikaans, and there's part of my history I would love to ignore, but the hard facts are we messed up, man. We messed up in apartheid, um, but we messed up way before apartheid. Not just us, the Zulus, the Xhosas, all of us. I mean, we were fighting each other already now for 350 years. We all messed up. It's time for us to move on, I would imagine. So I guess in my sense, my speaking, what I mean, what unites us is our faith in Jesus Christ. It's our faith. Love one another, love your neighbor, love your enemy. All these things come to play for born again Christian. And racism is something I don't understand. I understand that people talk about Orania and say that they are whites only. The Zulus have place like this in Natal, It's where you're preserving your culture. The Xhosas, many people, our tribes in South Africa, different black tribes have the same as what Orania has. But it's just because it's a white place for white people, that it's a big fuss. Um, I don't know, man. Apostle Paul said, don't look back, but look forward to Christ. Keep your eyes on Jesus. But I understand pain. And when I look to black Americans, I can really see um, like there's a move of the justifying of why they think a certain way. And I just feel they trapped at the moment where, man, uh, I feel I always used to look up growing up to black Americans, and coming from South Africa, they're a huge movies or anything like that. And I never in my life thought anything bad of Black Americans. I know they have different I mean, Afrikaans people. I grew up in the bush with black people also. So I didn't grow up racist. I was a family in South Africa where we didn't get that with. I didn't get a racist side with. Um, but I still believe that white people in South Africa, there are over 100 race-based laws against us now, but the white people are still prospering. So it's look at Orania. I mean, you can say it's white people. Well, it's white people, but they took a barren land in the middle of almost a desert where no one wanted, and they started building a whole community that does their own labor, 50% electricity, the generating, schools. Uh, it's clean, no crime, no drugs. I mean, man, that's no matter what color, no matter who you are, that's impressive. That's impressive. So, um, I guess we have to look past white privilege, and I would, you can say it's easy to say that because you're white, but let's look past white privilege and look to what's really going on. Is the devil want to divide us even more? But I love to have different culture. When I go to France, I want to have French culture. When I go to, let's say, Natal, KwaZulu Natal, I love to go see where visit Zulu culture. Eastern Cape to cause us, and but at the same time, we love among one another. So I'm not that much for you there, you there, you there. But I can understand if it happens that people want to preserve a part of their culture, which is normal to me. But I choose to live among many cultures. That's just my own choice. So I just pray for, especially now, I can see there's a lot of healing happening, or identity or healing, belonging for Black Americans, looking who are we, where do we belong, and I mean, who am I to give advice? You guys probably hate this, but instead of looking for excuse why things happened, um, you have all the talents in the world. With God, you can do all things, no matter who you are, no matter what color you are. Um, and Man, we've been encouraged by Black Americans. I have, so to speak. I just wish I was a bit. I saw a podcast where the wrap up crew or something. Um, these guys don't seem to be interested in breaking down the barriers with white people, so to speak. Um, we should love one another and understand different tribes. I think for Black Americans, I wonder, that's one thing I'll say is like, hey man, um, I moved to another nation for 10 years, pastoring in the Netherlands, and I look back to South Africa. I miss so much. I visit often, but um, I make it like it's the best place ever. Like no issues, nothing, everything is great. And it's nostalgia. That's what it does. But when I'm there, I still need to pay bills. I need to watch out every night. People are going to come kill me on the farm where I live. A lot of crime, a lot of issues. My daughters, they cannot walk on street alone. They cannot walk out. At night, you need to be in your house, locked up. Um, yeah, even black people, man, being killed, raped, everything in South Africa. So, but because I'm far, I'm making it something it isn't. Okay, but I still love that place, still love that nation. I love all the people there. So, all right, guys, I pray for you for peace and healing in Jesus' name. God bless you.